Okay, everybody, welcome back. And I'm here with an update to the video I posted yesterday about the young woman in Phoenix, Arizona, who gave birth while in a vegetative state at a healthcare facility. Yes, I said a vegetative state, and she gave birth. So we all know that means that she was clearly raped. So here is an update. There have been a few developments in this case, and as I promised, I would keep everyone updated about the progress as soon as I find out what's going on. All right, so here's a article by AZ Central, so I'm assuming that's Arizona Central. It says police seek DNA at Phoenix nursing facility where patients became pregnant. Great. That was the logical next step for them to take the DNA of, the employees there, to see if they can figure out who the father is. My only hope is that it will be somebody that is currently working there and not a former employee. Because remember, she had to be pregnant for at least 9 months. So hopefully that person is still there. And I do know in this industry, they have a high turnover rate. People come and go. So hopefully the person is still there when they do the testing. All right, and this is obviously a picture of the baby because it has a caption of the baby. I'm not sure 100%, but I'm thinking that this may be the baby because this is on, it says it's on haciendas.org's website. So, and it does look like a healthy baby boy. So, you know, I don't know if that's the baby or not. All right, so let's get into this article. The Phoenix Police Department on Tuesday served a search warrant to obtain DNA from male workers at Hacienda Healthcare, where a patient became pregnant and subsequently gave birth. So, again, I hope that it is somebody that is currently working there and not someone who is going to be hard to track down. But kudos to the police department for immediately getting on this DNA testing. If this had been, like 40, 50 years ago, even though they were collecting and keeping samples of DNA, the testing was not that great. But now with technology that we have in place, it is so much easier to identify suspects and solve crimes. So hopefully this will work out with the DNA testing that they're doing. The patient who gave birth December 29th was a resident at Hacienda Healthcare's facility called Hacienda de Los Angeles, 1402 East South Mountain Avenue. Hacienda de Los Angeles is described in state records as a 60-bed intermediate level care facility for people with intellectual disabilities. Okay. AZFamily.com last week reported that a woman who was left in a vegetative state after a near drowning more than 10 years ago became pregnant while she was a patient at Hacienda Healthcare in South Phoenix. Both the Arizona Department of Health Services and Hacienda Healthcare confirmed the pregnancy and birth, but not the woman's condition. So they're admitting, yes, she was pregnant and she did give birth, but we're not going to confirm that she was in a vegetative state. So it's already been released that she was in a vegetative state. At this point, I guess due to HIPAA laws, they may not be able to disclose that. But I would think they wouldn't even be able to disclose that she gave birth unless there's some rule that, since it's public, I don't know. But I'm thinking because of HIPAA laws, they can't say what her condition is. I'm not a lawyer, so, when I start talking legal stuff, it's my opinion only, okay? If you want to know what the true rules are, you can consult with attorney, consult with an attorney, and they can clear them up for you. When asked whether they were asked to take custody of the infant born to the Hacienda healthcare patient, officials with the Arizona Department of Child Safety would not comment. The baby was born healthy, according to several media reports. So this basically means we don't know where this baby is. We don't know if this baby is with her family or if the baby is with Child Protective Services. So, hopefully later on we'll be able to find out whatever happened to the baby. if the family decided to keep the baby or not. In a statement with Hacienda Healthcare, officials with Hacienda Healthcare said that on Tuesday, Phoenix police investigators served a search warrant on the company to obtain DNA from male Hacienda Healthcare staff members. And like I said, hopefully, these DNA samples will belong to someone who is currently an employee. Now, I'm almost wondering if when she gave birth, did someone abruptly quit because they knew, uh-oh, I didn't know I got her pregnant. Oh, this is going to be a problem. So hopefully it's somebody that's currently working there, or if it's not someone that's currently working there, then it's somebody that they can trace, pretty quickly. So, we'll see what happens with the DNA testing, but I'm so glad that they are doing the DNA test. As a company, we welcome this development in the ongoing police investigation, the statement says. And just a statement highlighted. The company says it had considered doing its own DNA testing of employees. Okay, that don't even sound like that is a good policy. I mean, who would test their own employees? Can you imagine going to work and your employer coming up to you saying, "Oh, we had a crime happen at the job, so we need to test your DNA." I would look at them like they're crazy. I think not. I don't care if you're a healthcare facility or not. It just seems kind of unethical to me for an employer to collect DNA samples while they're doing an investigation. To me, that is a police job. And especially if it's a union job, I could see where that could cause all kinds of problems. Okay, so let's continue. But company officials say they were advised by their attorneys that genetic testing of employees, whether mandatory or voluntary, would violate federal law. And that makes perfect sense to me. That makes perfect sense. And I wonder, when did they consider doing this this DNA testing? Because like I said, I think this is a big cover up, and I hope it don't just end at this DNA testing. Even if they find the person who is the father of the child, I still think they need to dig deeper, because there were other people. I can't say 100% sure, but there had to be other people who knew that this woman was pregnant and may have known that she was being sexually abused. And I'm hoping, if she was sexually abused, I know she was, but I'm hoping she wasn't sexually abused by more than one person. Okay. Hacienda stands committed to doing everything in our power to bring this investigation to a quick conclusion. The company statement says, "We will continue to cooperate with the Phoenix Police and all other investigative agencies to uncover the facts in this deeply disturbing but unprecedented situation." Officials with the Phoenix Police Department declined to comment Tuesday evening. On Monday, a longtime top executive with Hacienda Healthcare resigned. And see, there you go. When you are the head of something, if your employees do bad, yes, they have consequences, but you are ultimately responsible for the action of the people that you hire. You don't make the big bucks for anything, for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So people always look at the top executives like, "Oh, they don't have to do anything. They just sit back and do nothing." Well, they may not do a lot of the lay work, but they have a huge responsibility. And if something happens under their watch, even though they may be totally innocent of it, they will take the fall for it, and they will look at the whole program to see, how did this happen and why didn't you, being the top executive, do something about this? So, he did the right thing in resigning, because ultimately he probably would have been fired anyway. Bill Timmons had been chief executive officer of Hacienda Healthcare for 28 years. Wow, that's a long time. And on January 1st, changed jobs to take role of the president. So this man he inherited this problem. He inherited this problem. He'd been in that job just days when he resigned Monday. Wow. So he just became the president. It didn't happen. This act didn't happen under his watch as president, even though he was still CEO. Um, I hope they go back and they interview the prior CEO. You know, this scandal may be bigger than what we know. Maybe they knew that this girl was pregnant. They didn't expect it to be released to the public, and they had already been dealing with certain issues within the organization. I don't know. My mind tends to go all over the place, with everything that I see and read. So I don't know. Maybe they were dealing with it, and it just happened that the press got a hold of the story. Following the pregnancy report, state health department officials said the facility is required to heighten security to ensure its patients' safety. That heightened security includes increased staff presence during patient interactions, increased monitoring of patient care areas, increased security measures with respects to visitors to the facility, state health officials said. And so just reading this, I'm just starting to think to myself, wow, suppose it wasn't an employee that did this or someone that was a contractor. Suppose this was somebody that would come to visit her and was left unattended for long periods of time. It's logical to think, okay, someone at this facility who works here, who has access to her all the time, has done this crime. But things can get strange and weird. It could be someone that was visiting her all of the time. Wow, the plot thickens. So that is the end of the article. And I gave a lot of my commentary while I was reading it. So we've learned a few things. We learned that they are doing DNA testing of the male staff that's currently working there. And hopefully that DNA testing will find out who was the father. If not, I hope they go back to prior male employees that worked there during the time that she was there, at least for the last year or so. We also learned that the president, who just got a promotion, I mean, that had to hurt, just got a promotion. He resigned because of the scandal. So hopefully they're going to go back and look at the other person that was in charge during this time. And we still don't know where the baby is. So we don't know if the baby, well, I know we know the baby is fine, but we don't know if the baby is with her family or if the baby is with Child Protective Services. We don't know. Now, I wonder if people take a look at this baby and then they can tell exactly who the father is. Sometimes your baby comes out and you be like, oh, that baby looks just like you. So, I don't know. That would be great too, because that would give them an idea who to pinpoint this DNA testing to. But yeah, so I'm still going to keep everyone abreast of what's going on with this case and also talk about other things and whatever I want on my random channel. So I thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.